Cam Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, the sports book. Lot going on. Probably cannot fit it all in an hour. Man, we got baseball going on. You got
So much going on.
second round of baseball. College, we'll touch on a little bit of that. There was a couple games that were a little bit closer than I thought they would be. Ohio State and Maryland. That was a
Absolutely.
little
Yeah.
closer.
That
Yeah,
was a little
yeah.
closer than I thought too.
Until Ohio
I said,
State pulled, came heavy in the fourth quarter.
oh yeah. Yeah, but
And USC Arizona was close, 43-41. What about Notre Dame losing to Louisville?
wow. Wow. But that's how Louisville is though. Louisville plays to the strength of the team they're playing against. You know,
Yep,
they'll mess around and bust up a top 10 team every now and again.
yep. They did this one. It was a 10 rated team, 33-20.
Yeah.
And Alabama had problems with Texas A&M.
They always do. They always do. They always have problems. You know, Texas A&M is one of those teams that kind of has their number when they go at it. When they battle, it seems like they always, hang tough or hold them tough.
And then LSU had a tough time with Missouri. And I know it's 49-39, but at one point they were down, I can't remember, 20 something, 22-7 or something. They were down.
Mm-hmm.
And then, LSU put those 22 points in the fourth quarter to
Yeah.
pull it out by 10. Good game. But man, going into let me see if I can give you a little bit of. Let me see. Like I said, we're trying to touch off on everything.
Yeah, we're trying to get, because there's so much stuff going on. We got the pennant. It's going
We got the
on.
pennant going on. Yeah. Yeah, definitely got a lot going on. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, the NFL, it's week we're going into week 5,
Mhm.
and the top tiers, and there's a lot of games we're gonna talk about. I know a lot of people are gonna have a little bit of a problem, but the Bears surprised the Commanders on Thursday night.
Yes, they did. They looked like a real football team. You know,
They
sometimes
did. They
I
really
think,
did.
sometimes I think people tune in to our little knowledge, if you will. Because it seems like when we speak on some things and they happen, and it turns out in their favor, got to give the old sports book our credit when it's due.
There you go. There you go.
But
When
yeah,
it's
that
due.
was a good game. They really showed up that game. I had to give all the props to the Bears because for a moment there, I thought they were going the other route. But I guess it just has to click. Football's weird like that. Some Sundays it'll just click. Everything works. And then there'll be a Sunday where it's like we forgot practice. But this is how it works. Depends on, it's any given Sunday and your opponent.
True. 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 Yeah, the Commanders. They were the favorites. Chicago came in. That was and like I said, some of these games, like me and Lou had talked about. Uh, I was telling Lou, I said I took San Francisco heavy, Miami, and KC, keeping it
Yeah.
real simple,
Mhm.
keeping away from these games.
Like the
Anything can
Baltimore
happen.
game that I didn't stay away from. Didn't stay away from it. Went with tradition and it bit me, in the Kingston.
Oh yeah, next game was the morning game, and the Bills, the Jaguars, who always play the Bills tough,
Yeah.
beat the Bills in London. The Bills looked sluggish. I know the Jaguars had been there all week. I'm sure the Bills were there for a minute, but the Bills didn't look good. They dropped to 3-2. Jaguars are 3-2, up to 3-2, and Miami's 4-1. This is one of those indications we're going to get back to this where you got a pretty good team, but you're not part. Excuse me, you're not part of the elite. We'll
Right.
get to that. How about the Falcons coming back from behind to win I give Texans a lot of credit too because they play tough.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game. They played till they went back and forth. Uh, Kudos to the Falcons, man. Yeah, I like the direction they're going in. You know, and I am a biased Saints fan, but kudos to the Falcons. And what they got going on. Good on the win. The Texans they're really brewing up something down there. They hit a home run on C.J. Stroud.
They did. They did.
They
They
hit a
really
home run
did.
on him because that guy is holding it together, and these guys believe. So I root for them. I hope they, be successful. I hope they're a 500 team this season. I hope they're a 500
Right.
team because
You
it looks
know,
like that they're getting the tools there.
um, so CJ Stroud was 20 for 35, 249 yards. Desmond Ryder was 28 for 37 for 329. Two young quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Love to
and
see it,
he's
man. Love
impressing me each week.
right.
The Atlanta quarterback. Each week it looks like he's getting a little bit better. It looks like he's getting a little bit better, and so I guess he's absorbing and learning that offense.
Get a little more
So
comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah. Definitely getting a
yeah.
little more
So
comfortable.
Desmond Ritter. So kudos to those guys, and relax, Saints fans. I understand, hey, you're a Saints fan. Why are you doing talking good about Atlanta? I have to give the teams their flowers when they're due. I have to do that as a broadcaster. So that's why I call myself a biased Saints fan, even though I got love for the Saints. I have to be biased because I have to cover all sports and not put my personal opinions in the analysis. Thank you, though.
There you go. And the Lions are 4-1. And if you look at their
The
schedule,
Detroit
they
Lions.
they have a chance. They have a chance of going like 7-1. They have a real good shot. In
Mm-hmm.
5 weeks they could easily be 7 and about 10 going into the 10th week. They could easily be 7-3. I mean
Wow.
they're coming along. They're coming
Yeah,
along.
coming
I mean,
along. Jared Goff, 20 for 28, 236, three tutties. It sounds like a good day at work to me.
yeah, he had three TDs. Bryce Young had three TDs, but also had two
Yeah,
interceptions.
he had the two interceptions. He was 25 for 41 for 247, but
I mean,
he had the two interceptions.
they got. I'm not too worried about Carolina. I like
No,
Bryce Young, and I
yeah.
think they'll put. This is a new team, new
Mm-hmm.
people. I
Yeah,
mean, so
they're
I'm
starting
not.
over from
Yeah,
scratch. So, it's going to be some growing pains, but, it looks like they're so far so good. Everything is going in a positive direction.
yes, that's what I mean. I mean, that's. I think next year it'll be a little better, and then it'll get
Mhm.
better
Yeah,
because it just
everybody
can't happen.
gels
Yeah,
and there's offense, and yeah, that should be
and I
okay.
mean, and if they keep going at this rate, they're going to have a bunch more first round draft choices, which never hurts. The Colts beat the Titans, cost them their quarterback. All right,
Yes, every
that was
every Sunday seems like.
yeah something yeah. Um, if you are the Titans, are you pulling the panic button this early in the year?
Well, I mean, it is week 5, so we still got a lot of football left. We got a long way to go,
We
but
do.
I do believe that there has to be some tweaking. They by now, they've played football for 5 weeks. So now you know what type of offense you have. Now you have to tweak it to where it could work with the personnel that you have. I mean, Ryan Tannehill is what he is. So that means that you have to rely on the running game, which means that you got to get Travis Henry some help. I mean, if he's going to be your top back, we can see that, it's wearing on. So in order for them to play like the way they want to play, he's going to have some help. Now you need two backs. Even though they're undervaluing the backs, you need two of them.
I don't think it's time to pull the. I agree with you. I don't think it's time to pull the emergency cord, but I think they're going to have to tighten up because you don't want to be 2-6. Uh,
No.
no, you need to put something
Not
together and
AFC
figure out
South.
what.
You don't want to be 2-6 trying to play, trying to fight for the top spot in the division against Jacksonville that's trending up right now.
Right, that's exactly right. That's trending up. Now the Dolphins and the Giants. I thought the Dolphins were going to put a. They won, but New
Mm-hmm.
York hung in there. New York put on a little bit of they put on a little bit of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
New York's got a lot of problems. Tua had 2 interceptions. Now that's the thing with Tua. He had 308 yards. He may had 2 interceptions, and
Mm-hmm.
against the Giants, you can make some mistakes, and you probably get away with them. But when you start playing the top tier teams, that's
Yeah.
where mistakes come. But the Miami is alone at the top at 4-1,
Mm-hmm.
and the Giants. Oh, the Giants are a trash can fire, just waiting
Yeah.
to burn out. I don't know.
They made a terrible mistake on their quarterback, Tony. And this is going to be the results of that. You know, should have tagged, you know, should have tagged Daniel Jones, should have paid the running back, Saquon Barkley,
Right?
and bring some talent in, get your line up, but he is not the quarterback that they paid for, you know. And
No,
I
that's
know
not what they were.
they're hitting themselves upside the forehead every day for that, but that's sports. People, this stuff is not easy. It is not easy. The quarterback position is the hardest position to fill on your team because not only does he has to be good, he has to be a leader. He has to have communication and development, social skills to mesh with everyone, a lot of things on their plate. And you got to go out here and execute these plays, not throw interceptions and don't turn the ball over. So it's a
Yeah,
hard
they
job.
got it. It is. I mean, we'll see if they can turn it around. If they can turn it around, they did last year later in the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hate for anyone to have that much bad luck, but they are definitely on the slippery slope. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about the Saints. Tell me about the Saints win.
Saints win. Saints was an impressive win. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. But it was the Patriots. And it's you know, I guess I could say declining Belichick. I mean, he's
Or
declining,
team. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. The team is not as great as, what he normally puts together. Um, but I like the flow of things. I like David Carr played well. Everybody was clicking on all cylinders. But like I said, I'll take the win, but it's the Patriots. And it's like, well, there you go, Lou. Well, you can't give Saints love. You just gave Atlanta love and all this and that. I understand that, but you got to hear me out. We got we got new quarterbacks. All three of them are new to the they're new to the division. You
Yes.
know, and even David Carr, even our quarterback. So, with that being said, talent wise, we're supposed to be the best team. So when we have a 34 on a high caliber team and a high caliber offense, then I'll be satisfied. But I'll like I say, I'll take the victory. And every Sunday you got to play. And it was a great victory on the road, in New England. But it was it's a depleted Belichick team. So, I give him credit for the win, but I'm not, overly impressed with the win.
Well, I think as a fan, not as this is when we read the scores, we're kind of talking as fans. We do the picks. That's totally different. So I think sometimes you got to keep. I think when you're realistic as a fan, and you're not just a hothead fan, that I
Right.
think this was a good win to tune, because you always got to be tuning. You get an
Mhm.
opportunity to tune a little, and you move on to the next one. Got to see some stuff that worked, that didn't work, and remember what I said about being a realistic and knowing where you're at, because this will come back in our conversation. The Ravens and the Steelers. I was So I'm starting to wonder about Harbaugh, some of his play calling. I mean, the Steelers are well coached.
Mhm.
They just are. If anybody can pull one out, Thomas and Ken, um, and they beat the Ravens. Now they're 3-2.
Mhm.
They don't look as good as I thought they were going to be. I mean, there was some play calling that I just didn't understand. Wasted time management. Um, I give the Steelers a lot of credit for this, coming back 14 points in the fourth. I mean,
Mhm.
Pickett had 200 and 24 yards. Um, I mean, it was just it was your basic. Lamar Jackson had a good day, had an interception, and there you go
Yeah.
again. You make mistakes with these top tier coaches, and they're going to try to make you pay for whatever little mistake that you have. Wasn't like he
Right.
had a bad day, but he just had situation was Alex, I was surprised. This was one. So every week I try to keep it real simple, but I always put together a parlay, a stupid parlay. And when I mean stupid, when you start getting into 10, 12 teams, 14 teams, you're just putting it together and throwing a little money on it, and maybe it hits.
Right.
But I definitely didn't have the Ravens. I had the Ravens. I definitely didn't have the Steelers.
Right.
Um,
I get Ravens as well.
yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
mean, it was your
went with tradition. I looked at it on paper. I, balanced out. Okay, who's covering who? Who's gonna do what? Who's going to stop Lamar from running? Low scoring game, but I feel like Baltimore is going to win by 3 or 6. You know,
right,
so
right. No,
I
no,
went with I went
absolutely,
with Baltimore,
absolutely.
and this is their result.
Yeah, I had the under. I mean, because I knew there was going to be tight. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
good win for the Steelers, keeping it in there. I
Right.
mean, you just got to linger around. The Eagles and the Rams. The Rams are playing a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah,
Um,
and that was a good game to watch as well.
yes, it was. It was a very good game. And the Eagles, everyone's like, the Eagles, they're just they're just barely getting by. Well, I mean, sometimes, I mean, there is a lot of footage on him now, and people are keening up on him. They know the Eagles are coming to town. They're upping. You know what I'm saying? When the Eagles come to town now, people are in another gear trying to knock them off. So you're going to see a lot of tough matches with the Eagles.
These guys are still undefeated. See, that's the part that we're forgetting. As far and when I say we, I mean fans and sports media. That's saying Philly's not playing up to par. They're not playing as good as they were playing last year, and that's true. But what is also true is that they're still undefeated, even though they're not playing up to par as last year. We got to remember that part. They're not playing as good as they were last year, and they're still undefeated. So what happens when they play like they were playing last year?
Lights out,
Lights out.
lights
And
lights out.
but
I'm not I'm
I
not mad
do
at them.
not think that because of because they lost their offensive defensive coordinator from last season, I do not believe that they're going to give San Francisco the game that they need to give. I think losing those two coordinators is going to bite them this season.
I mean, coordinators move around. They go to
Yeah.
better positions. That's
Soon, yeah.
very
Soon as your team does good, that's a job. So, but and we're gonna get to Dallas later, but I still
yeah, yeah.
got
We're,
third. But
we're
we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. I
yeah.
still got them third
Uh,
up there as NFC, but we'll get to that later.
Next game was the Bengals and the Cardinals. Burrows had a really good game. He had one interception. Um, Dobbs threw for two interceptions. Kansas, I mean, I can't see, but the Bengals, I think at the end of going into the fourth, it was 24-10, and they kept Arizona from scoring, and they put 10 on the board and sealed the fate. Was a good game.
Absolutely.
Real good. Absolutely a very good game. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. Still questioning about Burrows. How healed is that?
Yeah.
How healed is he? But that's not for me to call. The Jets and the Broncos. The Jets beat the Broncos. Sean Payton. I don't know. This isn't turning out the way they thought it was going to turn out.
No, not at all. And I think Sean bit off. I think money talks, but I think he should have waited on the Chargers job. I think he picked the wrong job, because and maybe, in his mind he was like, well, all Russ needs is a little tweaking, find out that it's more than that,
It appears to be.
and so yeah, I'm not in his head, but I'm really thinking that he regrets taking his job. Because now it's
He's
like,
got to
hey,
work.
we paid Russ a lot of money, the quarterback, we paid you a lot of money to make this right.
Yeah,
So
but I think
let's
it's more on Russ. I think it's more on
I do.
Russ because it takes
You're
a
right.
while it's hard for a coach to come in and change the whole philosophy in 1 year. I know it sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
but this is year two of Wilson, right? Um,
Right.
don't seem to be getting their money's worth. Um, I'm sure they'll, depending where they end up, how many draft choices they get. I mean, I'm sure looking at their schedule, I'm not going to be surprised. I mean, I think they'll win. I think they'll go on a little 2-game winning streak here and there. They'll
Mm-hmm.
probably win seven games this year, and I think I'm being generous. Um, and 11, they'll finish 7-11, which is not where they wanted to be. But
Right.
um, there'll be some
But
changes that will be made.
yeah, but
So
they're stuck with the
here's
quarterback.
they are stuck with them now. Kansas City and the Vikings. Um, and this is another one. People are like, well, the Chiefs are, but they keep winning. They keep winning. Now the Chiefs are missing
Yeah.
two or three coordinators. Okay,
Mhm.
Pat Mahomes threw for 281. Kirk Cousins threw for 284. No interceptions. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I
Good
mean,
showing.
Kurt's doing Kurt. Like I said, he's a fantasy football. Kurt's a fantasy football god.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so, but they won. They're 4-1. They keep
Mhm.
marching on, and I think with the Chiefs, just like I think with the Eagles, we keep tuning it, testing and tuning, and we're going
Mhm.
to get our spot. And people are getting healthy, people are coming back. We're figuring out. So I think the Chiefs are fine. Can't Vikings on the other hand, I don't know what they're going to do. I think there's going to be a bunch of changes at the end of the year,
Mhm.
because they're regressing. Um,
Yeah.
but hey, that's the NFL. Things happen. Things don't high, as they say. Um,
Right.
Now the game that we're here to talk about. So all right. I'm gonna break this
Game
down for you
of
guys.
the
And
week.
here's the deal, and we're gonna keep it. Let's keep it 100. Okay.
Okay.
The bottom line is this: keep it realistic. Dak is a good quarterback. The Cowboys have a good team.
Mhm.
They have a very good defense. They played probably the best complete team in the all of NFL. Okay. The Cowboys are not on that level. And that's it. I think so many times, and I guess we spot it out because where we live, um, the Cowboy fans, and we're gambling. I'm putting all that to the side. I'm analyzing on what gives us the best chance of winning. I'm not
Mhm.
just going to bet money on my team because I want to show I'm loyal and I lose money. That's not what we're here for.
No.
I mean, you guys got to keep your personal out of it. And Dak threw some interceptions. It happens. Again, he was playing against a well-rounded. And you know what's so crazy is they're they're not real flashy. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not.
Right.
They're just not. They're just complete. They can run, they can pass. I mean, he finally put some in the air. Like further than usual.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. There was
I
a
mean,
couple.
I was
It
talking.
was a couple of throws that I was like, "Oh my, good job."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so at the end of the day, it's not about disliking Dallas. It's about just when I made the bet, it was like I felt like, hey, I looked at all angles. San
Hmm.
Fran's got a better defense. They got a better running game. They're better coached. You don't want to
Right.
hear that. I get it. Um, so everybody, my gosh, they just want to get rid of. I mean, at the end of the day, not everybody's a Super Bowl winner. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just not.
Right.
Believe me, I'm a
Narrowed
Buffalo
down to
fan.
two teams and
Yeah,
then down to one.
yeah. Right now in the AFC, Kansas City is the best AFC team, and right now in the NFC, it's San Francisco, and then Philly. And I don't know where 3, 4, 5 come in exactly because again, when teams play, and the bottom line is Dallas didn't really play. They played their schedule, but it wasn't. Um, you played the 49ers at home, and the 49ers are not a joke. I mean, I dread anyone that has to play them.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that's it. It's just gambling, and
Yeah.
stop taking everything so personal. Dak played well until he wasn't. Then the interception, but they were back to pushing the ball. I mean,
Right.
coming
Right.
from
Right.
behind. I mean, they were behind from get go. You know what I mean? Going into
Hmm.
the half, it was 21-7. Going into the fourth, it was 28-10. So they never got a chance to set anything up.
Right.
And if you watch San Fran, baby, what are they doing? They're run, pass, run,
Yeah.
run. I mean, it's a formula.
Well, machine.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to beat that. Um, it's hard to beat it. I mean, I like I said,
Hmm.
um, provided injuries, that's the best. That is probably the best team in the NFL.
Yep.
We get back. We got a bunch of picks. Trying to make some money. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock with Big Lou and Tony G. And I want to thank Eli on the board and everybody at the KM Radio. Again, go to kmradio.com, press play, and 24 hours a day of great programming and shows, us being one of them. All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to give you your pick, going to give you the pick so we can make some money. All right, right back on KM Radio where we go ham.
Yeah.
KM Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G and Big Lou. Tuesday night, the second half of the show. We're going to give you the picks to make the money. We're going to make it happen. Thursday night game, Kansas City and Denver. Rivalry game, big, long time. Um, can Denver put it together to keep this close, Lou? What's your thoughts?
Uh, I'm not going to say it's a blowout because it's a divisional game, so they know their opponent well. They may not match up, as far as athleticism is concerned, but in any given Sunday. But being that this Sunday the game is in Arrowhead, I don't see a good shot for the Broncos. Now maybe Sean Payton can cook up something, he can cook up something that'll keep them in the game, but I don't foresee KC losing this game. Denver does not have enough talent to hold up to what they got on the field. And then
Now,
with the X factor, Patrick Mahomes, Denver doesn't stand. They don't stand a chance. But like I said, I'm not going to say that it's a blowout, but they're not going to win. I don't think they're going to win.
so Kansas City minus 10.5. How you like that spread?
-10.5. That's it. Can be done, but you know, there's been a lot of up and down, but it's always up and down with KC. But that's why it'll be hard to predict minus 10 and a half. It'll be hard to, it's hard to it's hard
Go
not to
against them.
consider it because they can make that spread. But then again, they could come in and lose, and lose by 3. So, it's been up and down. It's the wins have been consistent, but the play bothers me, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes all the sense, and they've been terrible against the spread. Terrible against the spread. Haven't been the greatest. And they're minus 600 in the money line, which is no money to be made there. Denver's plus 430, lots of money to be made there. But I don't see Denver coming in and upsetting Kansas City at home.
Yeah.
I like Kansas City. I like the 10.5. I say that I like this. I mean, like I said, I ain't saying that I'm going to bet this Sunday. It's my prelims. I like the over.
Right
I do
now,
like
while
the
it's
over.
sitting right now, it smells good.
Yes. Yeah. That's Thursday night,
Right.
7:15. Oh, the next game is the Baltimore Ravens and Tennessee Titans. Who you like?
Oh man, 3-2 Ravens, 2-3 Titans at home. These teams match up pretty evenly to me, Tony.
They do.
Solid defense, bend don't break. Average offense, but can make plays. Huh.
The over's 40.
Yep.
Not against the under.
Got them at minus. Got Baltimore at -3 on my feed.
Yeah, that's where
Baltimore
it's at.
in Tennessee -3. You got Baltimore.
We're giving Tennessee
I don't
plus
know.
3. It probably would be.
I might
I
be the
mean,
wrong
I think it's.
person because I went with Baltimore last week and they shot me in the foot. So,
I know.
so it'll be
But
hard.
it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to. But it's a must win for both of them. They cannot. Neither one of them can afford to. I'm going to say Baltimore right now. I mean, look at the injury reserve list. The
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore -3. May even consider the under, which is 40. We'll see where it changes. I'll check out the injury reserve, and then we'll go. Go from there. We'll see what's happening. A couple weeks ago, at the game at the book about to bet, and they pulled Deshaun Watson, changed
Yeah.
everything. That
Yeah.
that's why it's hard. It's just why I say you got to wait to the last. I mean, you just have to wait.
To the last possible second before they shut it down because of
Injuries.
injuries.
Injuries. Next game is Washington Commanders in Atlanta. Atlanta's playing at home. They play well at home.
Yes, they do.
The under's 42. Money line is 115 plus for Washington. I expect Atlanta to play well at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're clicking. They're moving
And
in
they
the
do.
right direction.
Yeah.
And they play better at home. And I like Atlanta. I don't know. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Huff and the Washington Commanders?
I'm not too much sold on Howell just yet. He makes some good plays and but I'm not sold on him yet. I like the momentum that Atlanta has right now. I'm gonna go with Atlanta in this game.
Me too.
I just like
Atlanta.
momentum. Commanders are too up and down. They try to figure out Eric Bieniemy's offense. They're not consistent enough for me to say they can go into Atlanta and win this game
and beat. Yeah,
right? Because I think
and I like the spread.
Yeah,
2.5. I mean, you like Atlanta. I mean, you said it. I mean, Atlanta's playing well, starting to click, playing at home. The money lines are close. and Washington's plus 115, and Atlanta's minus 135, which isn't bad at all.
Mhm.
Next next game is Carolina Panthers and Miami. See, these are the games that are rough because Miami's.
Yeah.
I'm very confident that that Miami's going to win, whether or not
Mhm.
they can cover the 13 and a half. And the money line's minus 900, which is I should just say you can't bet it. I mean, but they can. Now the over's 48 and a half.
So
I like the over.
they're expecting another high scoring game from Miami.
Miami, yeah, and I think Carolina could put 14. Carolina probably put 14 up.
Mm-hmm.
And then wouldn't be surprised if Miami put 40 up. It's just a 13. I mean, I say that because Miami comes out and they're playing flat, which I doubt they will. I mean,
Right.
I like Miami. It's the spread. I'm gonna watch that. See if it changes because what may happen is you might get a bunch of people betting on Carolina, which will lower it down. Now it gets down to 9, and I'm in.
Right. Right. I'm
Yeah.
right there with you on that one.
So, yeah, but you got to wait to Sunday. It's
Yeah.
not happening today. You get a lot of people going, man. I think they could hold them off. Because I think the spread will change. I think you'll see a bunch of money put on
Mm-hmm.
the Panthers, because of the 13 points.
Right.
Um, so next game is your Saints with the Houston Texans. Tell me what you think.
Saints against Texans on the road in Houston. Um, Saints are a more talented team. Um, Texans have heart, you know, and CJ Stroud is a phenomenon. Like you said, no one has tape on him, so we can't, well, we got a little bit. We got three, we got
Yeah,
4 games. So, but the Saints defense is pretty good. They have a pretty good defense. Their corners play tight, you know. So I think that I'm gonna go with the Saints in this game, but
I like the Saints.
not predict a
Um,
34. I don't predict a high scoring game. I just believe that the heart of the Texans are going to keep this game low. Going to keep it low scoring. Say if the
so
Saints win, probably I would say the Saints win probably 10 points. I'll give them a touchdown and a field goal.
see this spread when Vegas makes these spreads. I mean, they're pretty on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple.
Minus one and
So
a
what
half.
scares me, yeah, what scares me about this, well, if I'm going to bet on the Saints, I'm taking them on the money line
Mm-hmm.
just to win because
Yeah,
I think Houston might be able to keep this closer than we think.
that's what I think. I think Houston is going to keep this game. Going to keep this game close because they're playing
I
that
think so
home
too.
crowd on their side. You know.
Absolutely, that's why I like the Saints on the money line because that spread ain't big enough for nothing. You know what I mean? Just in case. I'm
Right.
just trying to have a little bit of insurance. This way they win by a field goal because 1.2 is 2. And I mean, so yeah, I like the Saints money line. Staying away from the over. Um,
Yeah.
one thing that I don't understand about the Saints in Carr is why don't they try to air out his arm? They don't
Right.
seem like they're really trying to bombs away.
Right. And I'm not understanding that either. Maybe it's the play calls of their offensive coordinator. The things are going to have to be
Very
tweaked.
tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
very tight. He's very tight. Which tight ain't bad. It's just sometimes I wish they would. I wish they would air it out a little sometimes.
Yeah. Give us a play action.
Put
Yeah. Give us something.
put put some pressure on them corners. Keep them
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Um, Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. What are you thinking?
Good game. Cincinnati game in Cincinnati. Seahawks 3-1, and Seahawks is going to be my dark horse playoff team. they're going to be a team that upsets somebody's dreams. I just got that
Right.
feeling. They're playing excellent with
Right.
Pete Carroll. Bengals 2-3 at home with a wounded Joe Burrow, but he pulls out dubs anyway. Um, hmm, hmm.
I mean, can you
Do
go against Burrow at home?
You see, and it's hard. Even with a wounded Burrow, he wins on the road. I can't go against him at home. You know,
Right.
especially with Gino. But Gino's playing good this year. So when I say Gino, I'm not talking about Gino in a negative way. I'm talking about Gino in a good way because him and himself and Pete Carroll, have figured it out. So, but they're gonna go with the hometown Bengals. Think Seahawks
The
keep it
Bengals.
close. Seahawks put some 3-and-outs on them and stuff and make some defensive stops, but I think the Bengals are gonna pull it out.
See, I like the Bengals too at home. I mean, it's a field goal game. Um, Carroll is a very good coach. He'll try to ruffle his feathers on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah, come up
Um,
with some blitz packages.
yes, he will definitely. He's going to put some pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Cincinnati on the money line. Um, like I said, some of these spreads have been a nightmare. It's like you get in the winner, but you got to bet them on the money line.
Right.
That's my next game is the Colts +4 going to Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, most likely the Jaguars are home. I would think they would be home today.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of jet lag coming from England.
Yep.
Um,
Both 3-2. Um,
Indianapolis without their starting quarterback.
Without their starting quarterback, but Gardner Minshew is on his hot streak.
Yeah, yeah,
He'll
yeah,
shoot
yeah. But they're
for
playing
about but about he's got a good 3-game streak before he, reverts back to what he was.
and Jacksonville has a really good defensive mind coach. Uh, that's one reason why they give the Bills a nightmare every time they play. He
Mm-hmm.
used to coach us. I mean, but I like the Jags at home -4. I mean,
Okay.
Indianapolis without their starter is definitely not the same Indianapolis Colts. I'm sure they'll change the package.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like a -4. You like the Jags at home?
I do like the Jags at home coming off the victory from last week. I think they keep it rolling. Doug Peterson is affecting his formula with these guys. I like their defense; they're tough and fast, and
Yeah.
and our golden child is finding his way. He's starting to look the part now. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags at home against the Colts. I think Colts keep it close, but I'm going with the Jags because Gardner Minshew still got some special. He's got that Fitz magic on him or something. I don't know what's going on,
Right.
but he's making it happen.
Jacksonville at home. San Francisco and Cleveland Browns. They got Cleveland +5. They only got the spread at 5. Um, Cleveland has a good team. They play well at home, but
Mm-hmm.
I just can't go against San Fran. I mean, do you see anything? I mean, I just not until they lose.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying? Not until I
and
see them go.
this might be Tony, this might be their trap game. All of the all of the top tier teams, all of the top teams so far this season has had that trap game that brings them back down to earth. Each one of them. Buffalo did, Miami did. Uh, it seems like everybody but Miami. Well, Miami did, but everybody
Yeah,
but
San Fran and the Eagles.
San Fran and I think the Browns defense, they got the defense that can contain McCaffrey.
Right. I don't like
But
the
they
spread. I
still
don't
got
like the
Debo and
foul.
Ayuk to deal with.
Uh-huh.
It's hard against go. It's hard to go against 49ers and Shanahan right now. You know, Brock Purdy's quick, even though Cleveland's defense is monstrous. Purdy's quick with the decisions. And I'm with you, Tone. I'm gonna have to go 49ers in this one. As much as I have a feeling that this is gonna be a trap game, but the numbers can't justify, I can't justify it with stats and numbers.
Right.
You know.
So what I don't like is I don't like the 5 because I can see where they could linger around and make this a 3-point game. The money line, I mean, you bet 100, you win $45. It's minus 220, but I wouldn't be surprised if this went down a little. And the reason being is you'll always have people. The more money they put on Cleveland, it can make the numbers come down. And I definitely like San Fran minus 3, but we'll wait and see. It's another Sunday, but yeah, definitely San Fran on the winning side. Can Chicago keep the magic going against Minnesota at home? They're plus 2.5. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that they could. They should be able to. They should be able to beat Minnesota at home. Playing like they played, playing like they played Sunday. If they keep that momentum going throughout the week, I think they can take the Vikings at home. They're both 1-4. Uh, I don't know what's going on with they don't have their big running back anymore. He went to the Jets. And I think the Bears can get him, Tony. I think the Bears can get him. But
I do
then
too at home.
when it's Kirk, come back,
It is
Kirk.
Kirk.
That was last season. It's just
Come
we
back,
don't know
Kirk.
what's going on. We don't know what's going on, Kirk, this season.
I know, right? Well, they got other problems. They can blame Kurt all they want, but they got
But
some
yeah,
other issues going on.
other issues, personnel issues.
Detroit going to Tampa Bay. Can our guy hold on to his winning ways?
Yeah, winnable
Tampa's
game for
plus.
Detroit, but you got the curse of Baker Mayfield. Think he's winning over that Tampa Bay team. And I'm not
He is.
sure because the Lions are on a wave right now. And man,
I will tell you this now. There's some things to take into consideration on this game. There's 2 things that happen in Tampa Bay. One, it gets hot, and 2, it will rain like a typhoon. Check the weather, because if it is going to storm, you might want to go with the under. And if it storms, it changes a lot. Detroit plays in a dome. It could easily be 95 degrees, and believe me, that's a huge factor when you get these guys that aren't used to playing. So definitely pull up the. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's do a little research. This is all the stuff that I do. This is what me and Lou do before the games, checking on all this. Because as later in the season, weather starts playing a huge factor in in everything. When it's let me see.
when the temperature drops and drops like when the temperature's cold, and we all know what cold is. Just think about the footballs. That's leather. Leather gets cold, tightens.
Right.
So that's why you see a lot of drop passes because you got this missile coming at you. Your hands are already hurting or cold. Then you got this missile coming at you that you got to catch.
Okay. So Sunday, the 15th is going to be 79 for the high and only a 16% chance of rain. So weather, you know what I mean? So weather probably won't play a factor. It'll be 79. I'm sure it'll be a little muggy. But definitely keep your eye on this one. I do like Tampa at home, only because Detroit don't seem to play well outside.
Right.
But again, we're giving you our preliminary picks. We're giving you the preliminary picks, and then we're going to review everything on Sunday. So, and we just kind of move from there. Next one is Philadelphia and the Jets. They got Philadelphia -6.5, and they got the Jets +6. The money line's -285, which really doesn't make a lot of money for you. I like Philly. Don't really like the spread. I guess the Jets are coming off a win, so they're giving them a little bit more credit.
Mm-hmm.
And they are playing at home.
Right. But
Outright, I like Philly. I'm not a big fan of that spread.
me, I'm right there
Yeah.
with you. I outright like Philly for the win. Spread, I'm not cool with. Um, Jets D might make it an interesting game, but I think Philly can win it because they're more talented.
And their
And
defense,
Jets
can
offense can't keep them in the game. If Philly gets up 2 scores, it's over. Jets
yes,
offense can't keep them, can't bring them
no,
back, or can't keep them in the game. They gotta be flat out winning.
that's right. That's exactly right. They got to keep it close to keep it real. But yeah, I definitely like Philly. Next game is Arizona Cardinals +6.5 going against the Rams. The Rams are playing good football, but so is Arizona. They got some good coaching.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And Dobbs is seem like Dobbs is doing his thing.
yes, he's moving in. He's moving in. I like the Rams at home.
Me too. I like the Rams at home. I think they're gonna get the bit. They're gonna get the best of the Cardinals at home.
And like I said, the Cardinals are moving in the Cardinals are moving in the right direction. There's no
Yeah,
doubt
I thought
about
they
it.
was gonna be losing a lot of games on purpose to get Caleb Williams.
Now they're trying to win there in Arizona. I like them. I like how he's playing them, get them prepared.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're definitely trying to move on from Murray. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't said that, but I think
Yeah,
um,
they're definitely planning on moving away from him next season.
yeah, try to get a plan B, which I don't. I can't be mad at them. The next game is the Giants and the Bills. They got the Bills at 14 points spread. Um, I like the Bills to bounce back
Yep,
from.
they're way better than the Giants. They're
They
way
are
better than their team, and their defense is going to give Daniel Jones fits all day.
14 points, Lou, is a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, though. I agree. That's a lot. The Giants are not. The Giants are not doing well this season, but I think that 14 is
Not
a
at
lot.
all. Yeah, if they could just keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also got this feeling Buffalo coming at home, bouncing off a thing. This could be bombs away. Um, but here's the other thing: here's it's the same thing like you just said was if Buffalo jumps out 2 touchdowns ahead, the Giants, they still got +14. The Giants could fall behind quick. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because they don't have the offense to.
Absolutely. The offense
Yeah,
can't
I
bring
mean,
him back. So,
they got to
wherever
play it
they
tough.
start,
Yeah,
you know,
if you
however
pick the
they come out
Giants,
the gate is what you're going to get the whole game.
right? If you pick the Giants, and you're picking that New York's going to be able to keep it close enough to cover the 14. If you pick
Mm-hmm.
the Bills, obviously you're expecting, but it's just hard if the Bills jump out quick, which they can do. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no money on the money line. It's -900, so there's nothing there.
Right.
Next game is the Cowboys with the Chargers. Cowboys are
Mm.
going to the Chargers. Um, going to
Man,
play the Charger, and the Chargers are +2.5 at home. I will say this: I think this is a must win for the Cowboys to bounce back.
it has to be. And check it out, Tony. It is a must-win game against their former offensive coordinator.
Right? So that's a big, and the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers ain't nothing to scoff
So the
over
Chargers are
neither.
going to be well prepared for this game. They're going to play hard because Kellen Moore is going to use that. You know, hey, these guys didn't think I was good enough for them. They gave me the boot. Happy to be here. Let's show these guys what we're made of.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
And
think
he
the
and
Cowboys.
he knows things. It's too late to
Oh,
change anything. Well, it's not too late to change anything, but at the same time, right now, offenses don't really change. It's the wordplay, what you call the
yeah.
play. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that changed. So, and he knows how he, he knows how the Cowboys run their offense, man. And even though they got a different offensive coordinator there, things have changed. He knows McCartney. He's been around McCarthy. He knows what he's
So you
good at, what he's not good at.
so you think the Chargers? I mean, my only problem with the Chargers is they can be inconsistent, and Dallas has a really good defense, and I'm not going to take that away from them.
Yeah, I can't take the D away from him. Can't take the defense away. They do have, Eckler, and the two receivers. But like you say, they have a great defense. Kellen Moore knows this defense, so hopefully he can come up with some type of strategy that can help them, kind of tame the beast, if you will.
So we're both picking the Cowboys, guys. Our time is running out. We'll see y'all next week, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.